Hi, it's Lou from Christian Faith and Fiction. I want to share with you some of my favourite Christian historical fiction books. So I was going to do all of these books in one huge video, but actually as I'm starting to record it, I think it's going to be better if I put them into a few different videos. So in this one, we're going to look at some with a mystery and suspense element as well as romance. The Thief of Blackfriars Lane by Michelle Griep was one I enjoyed. I haven't read the sequels to that one, so I don't know how they went, but the first book I really enjoyed. It is set in Victorian London and it is following Jackson Forge, who is a new police recruit who, in order to keep his job, he has to find a missing cab driver. And in order to do that, he's forced to work with a suspected thief and swindler called Kit Turner. It kind of reminded me a bit of Oliver Twist, with all the sort of characters from Victorian London and the underbelly of Victorian London in there. I wrote in my review that the spiritual content was strong, with a good message of healing and hope. Then I've got a couple of books by Abigail Wilson. Her books tend to be more clean than Christian fiction, not much content in that one, but they are clean and in terms of sexual content and that kind of thing. I found this one to be a historical romance mystery set in Regency England. In the shadow of Croft Towers, it follows Sybil, who is travelling to take up a position as a companion at Croft Towers when her coach is attacked by highwaymen. When she eventually reaches the towers, she recognises one of the guests as one of the robbers. And then The Vanishing at Loxby Manor is following Charity, who returns from India to her friend's house in the country only to find her friend has disappeared. She is forced to work alongside her ex, Pierce, to uncover all the mysteries of Loxby Manor. These are sort of murder mysteries set in historical time periods and Regency type of house party, that kind of thing, romance and mystery. A couple of other books by Julie Klassen. Shadows of Swanford Abbey, which is a romantic mystery again set in Regency era England, and it follows Rebecca, who is travelling companion to a lady. She returns to her childhood village to visit her brother, a struggling author. He wants her to pass his latest manuscript to a famous author staying at the nearby hotel, Swanford Abbey. Whilst Rebecca is there, one of the guests dies, and her childhood crush Frederick is the one who has to solve the mystery. So this one has a slower beginning. I think nothing in the action takes place until sort of midway through the book. So there's a lot of getting to know the characters, getting to know who they are, their backstories and that kind of thing. And then the action takes place in the second half of the book. And then A Castaway in Cornwall is set in Cornwall, obviously, set in North Cornwall, and it is following Laura, who is an orphan living with her uncle's family. She's always felt like an outsider. She collects flotsam and jetsam on the beach from shipwrecks. One day she finds a man who has survived a wreck but is near death, and she is instrumental in bringing him back to health. So again, the first half of the book is introducing the characters, who they are, the mysteries surrounding who they are and who this strange man is who turns up after a shipwreck. And then you start to get a lot more action and plot as the second half of the book unfolds. Really loved that one because it's set in a place where I have been on holidays, and like Regency Cornwall is a really interesting place to read about the mysteries of the people and their backstory. It was really interesting to me. Definitely slower paced books with those two, but still really good to read. The Mistletoe, Countess and the Cairo Curse by Pepper Basham are again mysteries with romance as well. These are set in the first one is set in 1913, and it follows Grace, whose sister is supposed to marry Lord Frederick Astley. Then something happens and Grace ends up marrying him instead. So her sister was elegant and trained, but Grace's tongue runs away with her and her head is full of fiction books. And she comes to move to her new home in England, where she finds a mystery surrounding her husband's family and his past. And she's determined to investigate it like her hero, Sherlock Holmes. I liked the Christian content in these books. I like they both had a strong faith. There is an element of, what shall we say, content, bedroom content in these books, not completely to the point of seeing things happening, but the lead up to that, because they are a married couple, but in both books they're a married couple, so you get a bit more description and graphic description and lust involved in the romance side because they are married, but it is a closed door romance. But yeah, that was maybe a little bit too much and for me, and it might be for you. But the mysteries I really loved, and the characters I really loved in these books. Looking forward to the third one as well in this series. The Metropolitan Affair by Jocelyn Green was one I enjoyed. It is very much mystery and suspense and romance together. It is following Dr. Lauren Westlake, an Egyptologist working at the Metropolitan Museum in New York in 1925, and she had a difficult relationship with her father growing up, always wanted to go to Egypt with him. At the beginning of the book, Lauren's father gave her the opportunity to go on an expedition with him. However, in order to do this, she must prove herself to the board and his newly formed society. At the same time, she also met up with Joe, an old friend who was a detective in the NYPD, and he asked her to help him find Egyptian forgeries which were being sold to wealthy people in New York. So it's following their kind of criminal investigation, tracking down forgers, and also their relationship to each other and Lauren's relationship to her father. There were a few references to Christian faith in the book that were strong. The romance is clean in this book, and there is some violence in there. Finding Lady Enderly by Joanna Davidson Politano is set in London's East End, or it starts there, and it's following Raina, who is a rag woman who is approached by a stranger who appears in a dark alley, gives her this opportunity for adventure and gives her the opportunity to come to Rothburn Abbey with a unique position. She is pretending to be a lady, so she has given up all her rags for this rich position and wearing these clothes, and she is wrestling with her new identity and her old identity, and whether she can pull it off and whether someone might reveal the truth about her. There is also a mystery element that develops through there, which she finds out that not everything is as it seems, and she has to try and find out why she's really there. And the last one I have for you is A Beautiful Disguise by Roseanna M. White. This is a historical mystery and romance story that is following Lady Marigold, who is a character who is very flamboyant. She has very flamboyant clothes, but it serves as a smokescreen for her real occupation at the Imposters, which is a private detective agency catering to the wealthy elite. Alongside her brother, she's taking on these secret jobs whilst still carrying on this position in society. This has a kind of spy plot to it, with multiple layers of mystery and secrets going on, as well as romance, which exposes her sort of flaws and insecurities and brings her into contact with somebody who is seeking their help but doesn't realise who she is to start with. So he knows her as her society persona, but also has contact with her through the imposters in a secret way. So you're wondering what's going to happen if he finds out who she really is. So those are 10 books for you to have a look at if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments any favourites of yours of historical fiction books with mystery and suspense and romance added into them. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel and you've clicked on the notification bell if you don't want to miss any of my videos. And I will have some more historical fiction recommendations for you in the future. Okay, I hope you're having a great reading week. If you'd like to see more videos on Christian fiction, you can watch these videos over here. Until next time, I pray God bless you and your families. Bye!